Hey guys, welcome back everybody. So today we can talk about how we can use the network statement in the BGP protocol. So let me tell you that BGP Network Command and IGP Network Command, IGP means OSPF, IGP, so on. It's totally different. In IGP, what happened? The IGP Network Command is gonna enable the interface into the routing protocol, right? Understand this way. So we have router number 1 right now, and we have router number 2 right now, and this my 0/0, this my 0/0 right now. This guy has IP address, let's example 101, and this guy's IP address will be 1 or 2, right? And of course the 100/0/8 network we have over here. I'm going to configure the router EAGRP right now. Let's example router EAGRP and 1. I'm going to put the command network 100/0/8 right now. So once I've defined this statement, what happened in the backend? What IGP will do that? IGP is gonna enable the interface. So this interface will be enabling the IGP protocol, and they will send the EIGRP hello packet from that one. That's how the IGP network statement is working. When it comes to the BGP protocol, right? When it comes to the BGP, let's example of the same scenario. We have router 1 and router number 2 right now, and this my 0/0, this my 0/0, this my 101, this my 102 right now, and the subnet is same 100/8, and this is my IGP behavior, right? Oh, I already have it. I'm so sorry. So this is my BGP behavior right now. So in the case of BGP protocol, what happened? Assume this guy is running with the ACE number 1, this guy is running with the ACE number 2, right? I have a lot of BGP over here, and I can put the command 1. That's gonna define the ACE number, and answer the network command 1.0.0.0. That's all. So when I say the network 1.0.0, it's not gonna enable the interface into the routing protocol, right? To enable the interface into the BGP, we need to use the neighbor statement. So here what happened, the network command of the BGP, it's only gonna advertise that out. So it's gonna enable the interface, right? And this guy is gonna advertise that out. To enable the interface, right, in the BGP protocol, you need to use the neighbor statement. Now let's go in the deep dive of the network statement of the BGP. So we are not talking about the IGP network statement right now. So our focus is on this part. So if I talk about the BGP network statement, right, first of all, you need to understand the syntax of the BGP network statement. The syntax, what we have over here, right? So the syntax is simply you need to go in the router BGP configuration mode, right? Then you can simply the network, right? And here we have a x.x.x.x. This is the one syntax that we have. It is always go with the class pulled out, right? So another syntax we have over here is the x.x.x.x. That's my network portion. I need to tell this guy the mask keyword, and then I need to define the subnet mask information. So this command or syntax, we can call it, is for the class pull and the classless as well. So understand this logic right now. If you have a class pulled out, then you can go with this command line. That's perfectly fine, no problem, right? But if you have this command line, right, if you have a class pulled out or the classless out as well, any one of them. So for the class pulled out, you can also use this one. For the class pulled out, you can also use this one. For the classless out, it is a mandatory to use this one. Okay, and again, this thing we are talking according to the iOS perspective, right? XR and Nexus operating system, it's totally different way to do the network statement, right? So the command lines are different over there. But in the iOS, this is how the command lines are there. Now, if I want to more deeper, the BGP network statement, right? BGP network statement is depend on the auto summary. So let's say example, if my auto summary is on, right? So I don't think so I need to explain the auto summary. The basically auto summary is gonna doing the summarization, right? So if my auto summary is on and my auto summary is off, two situations, right? We can call as a disable and enable as well. So in the case of auto summary on, you can call as enable. In that case, what happened? You don't need to perform the exact match in the RIB, right? The routing table you can call in a simple language. In case of, let me, sorry. right? In case of auto summary off, right, you need to perform the exact match in the routing table. What is the meaning of this line? Let's understand the practical right now. Okay, the point number, the auto summary is by default disabled. Okay, and it is never a recommendation to enable the auto summary, right? So we are just learning the network statement in the more detail. That's why we are going this kind of difference right now. But even if you are not you know interested to learn this part, you can skip this one as well. But it's better to learn everything about the network command. So when I say the auto summary is on, right? 1 minute. Let me put this guy over here. Okay, and okay. Right? How you can enable the auto summary and disable it. So I'll just write a command over here as well. You just need to go in the router BGP mode, and on the router BGP mode, you can simply say that auto summary. Right? When I say the off, then you can simply say the no auto summary. That's simply gonna disable the auto summary behavior. Now you can see this topology right now I have, and I have a show IP interface brief right now. I have a 12.1, which is my this interface IP address, and I have a loop back, right? Loop back 1, loop back 2, and loop back 3 I have as well. On R2 as well, if you see that show IP interface brief right now, I have a 12.2 and loop backs as well. And I do not have a BGP right now. If the command so BGP is saying the BGP is not active. So let's first configure the BGP. It's a basic one. I said the neighbor 10.1.12.2. So R1 is gonna form the neighborship with the R2, right? And R2 is gonna form the neighborship with R1 as well. So on R2 as well, I'm gonna put this command line, and out of BGP number 2 neighborship, I'm gonna form the 12.1. That's fine, right? And I'm gonna enable the debug IP routing, debug IP BGP update as well. Debug IP BGP update is gonna give you the information about the update packet data we are receiving from the neighbor. Debug IP routing command is a very interesting command. I'm telling you, do this one. What happened when you're gonna enable the debug IP routing? This command is gonna give you all the information, like when the routing tables build the route, right? So whenever the routers add the route in the routing table, it give you the information. When the router delete the routes from the routing table, they will also give the information. So all the information it is giving you, on the console, right? When you're going to enable the debug IP routing. Now on a router 1, if you see, I'm gonna enable the auto summary right now. First understand this behavior, auto summary behavior. My auto summary is enabled now. You can see the show IP protocol, automatic route summarization is enabled. But on the router number 2, it's disabled. That's totally fine, no problem, right? Because we are understanding according to the router 1 perspective. So auto is on right now. I can simply say that, and auto is off over here. Okay. Now on a router number 1, right? Have a look. First of all, I'll show you the do show IP root connected, and I'll try to put this one in my notepad so that I can show you everything, right? What I said that if the auto summary will be on, right, you do not need to perform the exact match, right? If you see that I mentioned this word, you don't need to perform the exact match in the routing table. So there is no problem with the class pulled out. Class pull, you can simply advertise it, but the problem comes in the classless. So if you see on the router number 1, what I can do that, if I'm going to advertise my route, this is my class pulled out, right? So there is no problem. I can advertise this route, right? I put the network statement 1 or 0 or 0. Simply, I can hit enter, and the route will be advertised to route number 2. See, I got the update from the neighbor, and this is the debug of the debug IP BGP update, and this is the debug of the debug IP routing. I told you, right? Whenever you're gonna receive the route, it's gonna add the route in the routing table, and that's you can see over here by using the debug IP routing command. It's being learned on the R2. What I can do that, right? I have another route. You can see it's also classful. I can advertise my classful route this way as well, right? I can use the mask key, but that's a better way to advertise the route. And let me tell you, in the production network, we do follow the rules as well. Trainings you can do anyways, right? but in the production you do follow the rules. Sure. So this is the best way to advertise the route in the production network as well. It's being advertised. See, good, right? Now, as I mentioned that it's auto summary is on right now. The most important thing you need to look for the class list. So the class list that I have right now, if you see, it's a 172.16.1.0/24, right? What happened, right? If I'm gonna put the command 172.16.0.0, I mentioned this word again. I'm repeating you. I do not need to perform the exact match in the RIB. It will be advertised around, no problem. But the point that you have to notice over here, the configuration that I have over here is a /24. Auto summary's behavior is what? It's gonna convert the classless route into the class pool. So it's gonna send the route to this guy, the 172.16.0.0. But R2 will understand. R2 will say, okay, this is a class B IP address. I need to mention this guy as a mask as a /16. So when R2 will receive it, R2 will receive as a 16 over here. That's how the BGP advertise the route. So if you see that, let me show you this thing. Let me remove this guy for now, right? And you can capture this particular link as well. Come on. And I'm gonna hit my network again, right? And reminder me later. Not the withdrawn route. Wait for the new update. Do show IP BGP. Show BGP. Wait. It's pretty slow routing protocol. Do show run section BGP now. I got the update now. No, it's not there. It's CDP packet. Yep. So R1, can you see that 12.1 is sending the update packet to the 12.2. And if you're gonna open this update packet, you can see the NRI option right now. /16 we have over here, right? So this is the network prefix. This is the /16, right? Submit mask information. We are sending the update packet, right? The interesting point, if you see right now, what? Okay, I forgot to mention over /16. The interesting point, if you see right now on the R2, R2 is receiving the route, but as a /16. So it's converting the class let's start into the class pool, right? That's not a good thing. So that's why what is the recommendation? You should disable the auto summarization. You should disable the auto summarization. So now if I'm going to disable the auto summarization, I'm going to go on the router number 1 and I first remove all the network right now, and network 100.0 as well, and network this one as well. Now have a look over here. I'm going to enable the I'm going to disable the auto summary time. When I'm going to disable the auto summary, I have to perform the exact match in my routing table. Now again, I'm repeating, no problem with the class pool, right? So if I'm going to advertise my class pulled out, have a look. I'm going to advertise it, right? So let me enable the debug as well. Do debug IP BGP update. So I'm going to say the network 1.0.0. I'm going to advertise my route, no problem, right? Auto summary is disabled right now. So auto is off, and auto is off on the side as well. Okay. So doing that, no problem. R1 is receiving the route. So BGP, if you see that in my routing BGP table, I do have a route. Okay. On R1, if you see that, if I'm going to put the command network 100.0.0, it's also class pull route, right? If you remember that, I can use the mask keyword. So mask keyword is optional for the class pull route. So if you see, it's matching exact match, right? 100.0/8. I mentioned the same keyword 100.0.0/8. It's going to advertise it, no problem, right? R2 will receive it. Doing that, come on, it's a slow routing protocol. Give some time. Do show BGP now, and here we go. So R2 is receiving the update from the neighbor, and we have a 100.0/8 as well. What I can do that now, if you go in the router number 1, I said the network 172.16.0.0. What do you think? Will they advertise? No. The reason, I need to perform the exact match because my auto summary is disabled right now. So check in the routing table. What route I'm advertising it? Is it matching with my routing table right now? No. So it won't advertise the route. Okay. Second thing, if I'm going to put the command network 172.16.1.0 even 1.0, see, is it matching it? Of course, it's matching it, but it's not matching the /24. So it's not going to advertise the route. So I'm not sending any kind of update packet right now. So if you see R2 as well, R2 is not receiving any kind of update as well because auto summary is off. So when the auto summary is off, you need to perform the exact match in your routing table. So when I say the network 172.16.1.0, I need to tell this guy, hey, listen, as per my routing table, I have a 1.0/24. So I need to give the service mask information as well /24. And now the magic comes in the picture. I'm sending the update and I'm receiving the update as well /24. So this is the how your BGP network statement works. Remember one thing, auto summary is by default disabled on the BGP side. Do not enable it. And the conclusion point is what? The conclusion point is this part. Make sure that you always have to perform the exact match in your routing table. So whenever you're going to put the network history, let's example network 1.0.0.0/8. Check the routing table. What is the exact match you have it? So most of the engineers are doing the mistake in the BGP here only. So they form the BGP neighborship when they are trying to advertise the route. What happened? Maybe they have configured the classless route, but they are advertising a class full subnet in the network statement, and that's why what happened? BGP is not advertising the route over there. So check the routing table, match it, and then advertise it. Thank you so much.